Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of VegfestUK Chat. This is the Sunday Summerfest special coming to you live at 9 a.m. BOT, that's British Overcast time, and will be available, obviously, afterwards. You can watch it on the usual channels. So thank you very much if you're just joining us live now. It's been a pleasure. We've done 8 episodes now, and it's been great to see some of our regular fans tuning in. We're very grateful for that. It's very encouraging. And also the amount of views afterwards and shares has just been brilliant. So do feel free today to share the episode around the place, around the world. We're featuring a number of Summerfest contributors, which again is global. So that's something that we can see pop up all over the place. And of course, today also we're going to focus a little bit on our stallholders and encourage people to take the opportunity to visit the stallholders. All our exhibitors are in the exhibitors hall when you register and log on. Do go and browse. Be great to do a bit of shopping if you can, and a little bit of engagement with our stallholders. Some encouragement during these challenging times for all traders. So I do hope that message goes out loud and clear. Let's have a bit of support for the traders today, especially. We've had some most fantastic panelists, some terrific performances. I was up late last night, as you can possibly tell, and there was a most immaculate couple of live performances. One from Adamski, who did a remix of his huge mega hit Killer, and another one from the Wake Up Experience, streaming live hip hop from LA. So anyway, that was yesterday, and on with today. And once again, I'm very happy to welcome my beloved, dearly treasured, and indeed, as I mentioned yesterday, ebullient Karen Ridges to come and join us for the show. Karen, once again, lovely to see you. We were just discussing just what ebullient really meant. I didn't really know. I used the word yesterday to describe you. I sort of bubbly and effervescent and just all round exuding positive energy and radiance. Something along those lines. How are you, Karen? You good?
Yeah, I'm really great. I woke up this morning and I woke up like, have I missed the morning chat? I really panicked. But no, I woke up in plenty of time, which was really great. And what a fantastic VegfestUK Summerfest Online yesterday. Brilliant guests, expert advice. Adamski was just mind-blowing. And on top of that, some really super stalls. So as Kim was saying, go over to the hall where the stalls are online, and please do give them your love and your support, however that means, engaging with them, do a bit of shopping, like their social medias. We've got some great people and we're lucky to have them on board, and we want to sing their praises.
That's right, Karen. And of course, it is the Summerfest. It's a free event. I'm sure a lot of people will know that by now. Thank you very much to those who've attended the last 2 days. The Trade and Media Day on Friday, which saw some real expertise. I would say, the cream of the natural products trade was present. And indeed, yesterday we saw the same, obviously the vegan cream, but the cream of the vegan movement was present too, or some of the cream, if you get my gist. So we really were honoured by some fantastic attendees. And of course, you can register online to attend. It's pretty easy. Just to say, if you're having a little bit of difficulty finding the log on, that 2 things. First of all, it's better to look at it on a big screen, a PC or laptop, rather than a mobile. It's a show. It works better on a bigger screen. That's just a fact of life. And secondly, if you're looking for the login button, just turn it round to landscape. You should see it straight away. It is there. We did know 1 or 2 people found difficulties yesterday just locating that. If you're having a little bit of difficulty finding the login button, either go to a laptop or PC or go to landscape mode if you're on your mobile. So, Karen, I think we're going to have a look at some stallholders first of all. I know we've got, a good amount of them, so we're going to have a quick look through. This is what the stalls look like. Of course, the first two we are our sponsors, Butte Island Cheese. Kay, I know you're a big fan, and Yayo. We say something quickly about these two wonderful firms that are sponsoring us.
Yeah, I mean, Butte Island Foods, as far as I'm aware, they're the pioneers of dairy-free cheese, and they've grown and grown and grown. I think over 30 years of vegan cheese. And I have to say, because I love them to pieces, I get to see them when they come to our Vegfest events, and they were one of my first PR clients. So, you know, I've got a very special place in my heart. And then Yayo as well. I mean, vegan suntan cream, vegan body care, vegan skincare. You can trust both of these brands. Their entire ranges are all vegan. So, yeah,
just point out too, 30% off on the Yayo stall today. So if you go to the Yayo stall, we've got 30% off. Just going to go through quickly here because we've got Animal Aid, who I know a lot of you are familiar with. We've also got Anti-Carnist just up here on the right. We've got Annabelle Minerals down on the bottom left there, and Better Nature on the bottom right. So there's four of our stallholders that really are, you know, some excellent things to do. Heart to Heart there. We've got Generation V, and this is what the actual stalls look like, you know, on the exhibition booth. So it's quite fun to come along. Obviously, there's Butte Island again, and it's wonderful, you know, Free From Italy, who really have got, I've actually got a cupboard full of their products. Well, an empty cupboard used to be full of their products because I've eaten them all, but they really are good. So we're thrilled to be, you know, have so many stallholders. We've got Humane Wildlife Solutions, who really have been staunch supporters for this whole operation. So thank you, Kevin, for that. Living Veggie by Anya, who I know is resident in Singapore. So this is a really outstanding opportunity for stallholders to come from outside of the UK. Humane Human, with their wonderful selection of animal-based, you know, T-shirts, clothing, tote bag. Do go and give them a visit. And of course, our most treasured Huglets Wood, the animal sanctuary, who are there. Do go and say hello to them. Mahi Naturals with the Crazy Rumours lip balm range. We've got Nairns from Scotland with the oat cakes, which we're thrilled to see. My Vegan. And then we've also got New Flow there. My Vegan doing protein powders and protein bars. New Flow with sort of menstrual products. They're all there in the exhibition room today. You can go online, you can shop there. A lot of them got special offers. We've got the Sensitive Food Kitchen exhibiting One Planet Pizza there. You can see on the top right, Organic Up there on the bottom left. And just on the bottom right there, Olivado, which is a sensational range of avocado oils, actually, Karen, in Maine, which is pretty impressive, I have to say. And I'm going to keep chatting, Karen, because I happen to know all of these stallholders. And you've got to be pretty quick off the mark, because there's Tweedy Clothing, and they are really interested in some fantastic stuff from Tweedy Clothing, obviously clothing being the clue. Talu, who do some really nice candles. You've got Super Nature, who have like some awesome snack bars. And the Vegan Approach, and that's where you can go if you're new to veganism. You can come along, swing by, pick up all sorts of information. And we've got one of the Vegan Approach coming on the show just in a minute. Kay, don't hold your breath because I haven't finished yet. The Vegan Filter are going to be there. That's going to be amazing. We're really happy with that. We've also got Vegan Business Media, run by the awesome Katrina, who was on yesterday. The Vegan Society, who were thrilled to see. Thank you for coming, the Vegan Society. And David and Lisa from the Vegan Business Tribe, also exhibiting, who paid a big contribution on our trade day just on Friday gone. So do go by and see them. We've also got, let me see now, the Vegan Women's Leadership Network, of which Karen Richards is now an honorary guest. We have Vegan Tipples, where you can go and get some nice alcohol, which I wouldn't mind after the show. Vegums are there with their brand new Multivit Minerals, do go and say hello to them. And the immaculate and most treasured Watson and Wolf, who do a whole range of accessories. Absolutely wonderful. Karen, that's just a taste of some of our fantastic stallholders. Honestly, I could have gone on all day quite happily.
Well done. That was a huge amount. Fantastic stalls. And what I absolutely love about this incredible technology that we're using here at VegFest UK is how brilliant the stalls look. You know, and the whole fair, you walk into the lobby, you see other people, you can go into the auditorium, you can go into where the stalls are, you can go into the chat rooms and have a chat. The stalls in particular, you can virtually walk up to the stall, you can click on social media, you can interact with them just as you would at the VegFest UK events in person. So yeah, brilliant stall holders, a fantastic lineup today, and the technology looks brilliant.
It's really fun. I think we've been really lucky to do this. I mean, it is, you know, it's not cheap, it's cost money. And on that note, I don't mind saying that we do have a donor box out. So the Friends of Vegfest is the Friends of Vegfest initiative is there for people to donate in place of a ticket price. Obviously, I don't want to bang on about the money too much, but we have to be honest that with events dropping off, our revenue dropped off 100%. This event is not a revenue raiser. And we do now actually rely going forward on the public to support us, the vegan community. Effectively, we're now a charity. And if you value our work, which I hope you do, I would love it if you can pop along and pop something in there. Part of the idea of the Friends Initiative, Karen, was, we didn't want to get the begging bowl out. We didn't want to start a big dramatic crowdfunding campaign of help. We need X grand desperately to blah, blah, blah. We wanted to give something. We really wanted to give something to the vegan community. We really wanted to give something like, as if we haven't over the last 18 years, we still wanted to give before we even asked for anything. But now we're asking, okay? So hopefully people are listening and they will respond. We need some public support there. Effectively, we're now operating as a charity. Everybody's volunteering their time and no one's getting paid. And if you'd like to see this continue, and I hope you value it, please do go to our donor box. It's the Friends of Vegfest whatever. It's on the vegfest.co.uk site, but it is a bit like that. And I think you'll be seeing a number of other events, in the same category, because bear in mind, although we work in the vegan and the natural product circles, many of whom are thriving, because the demand for vegan products, plant-based products, and now, of course, products that are good for your immune system, means that a lot of our vegan suppliers and traders are doing really well. Not all of them by any means, of course. There's a lot of struggling. There's a lot further up the line in the suppliers who are doing very well. And that's great. But we're in the events trade, and we're not. And our events have dropped off 100%, and that's a fact. And we're having a difficulty dealing with that. That's life. Karen, we have a guest. Who's our guest? I believe it is Rob from the Vegan Approach. Rob's been helping people go vegan for a number of years now. The Vegan Approach had come on board for this show, which is just fantastic. It's the first time we've really worked with them. And they really have been really enthusiastic. Indeed, Karen, ebullient. They have showed indications of ebullient, which I am reliably and faithfully informed by my good colleague. That means cheerful and full of energy, which... It's
word of the day, word of the weekend at the moment. I'm learning so much.
So yeah, so I don't know if we've got Rob in the wings late. I'm not quite sure if we're waiting. Here he is. We have. Rob, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Yeah, good to see you. We could just about see you. It's an interesting angle, but there you are. And yeah, well, that's better. That's right. Yeah. So thanks very much, Rob. Listen, do tell us. We haven't got that long, but you know, we've got a little short and sweet. But tell us a little bit about really what is the vegan approach?
So the vegan approach, there's only 3 of us, only a small organisation, and we used to go around the festivals when they were happening and just do a 6 steps to vegan talk. So talking about motivation, talking about deciding what to eat, a little bit about nutrition, finding vegan restaurants and takeaways and how you can eat out vegan, a bit around friends and family as well. And also lifestyle as well. So how once you adopt the vegan diet, you don't become more vegan, but you become more conscious of your lifestyle and the products you consume. So, and it's very fun, friendly. We're here and happy to help people make that transition wherever they are, vegetarian to vegan or non-vegetarian to vegan. So we see people at all different stages and try to help them as well. So yeah, that's us. And we've got our live stream on at 3:00 this afternoon. And we've got some great guests. We've got Izzy from Animal Aid, and we've got Sam from the Vegan Society as well. So we're hoping people will present questions, and we're there to answer and help them on their vegan journey as well. So. That's it in a nutshell, the vegan approach.
That's wonderful. What I really liked when I went through your website is how professional it looks. I loved your video, your introductional video. It was really easy to watch, very positive, and yeah, it just made me want to know more and to watch more. So hopefully for that person that's thinking about making the best decision of their life ever and going vegan, I feel that this is something very watchable, and you can see from what you're doing that you care and, you know, you genuinely want to help. There's no sort of, you know, scariness or, you know, making people feel as though, I don't know, they can't do it. It's just so positive and uplifting. So I really, really like what you're doing.
And that's how the 3 of us always operate, because I've not been vegan from birth. So, you know, we're here to encourage people, not to not to say that you must become vegan. But if you want to become vegan, come and talk to us.
Fair shout, Rob. I like your approach because it is friendly, and you've got to be. It's a difficult one because, you know, obviously people who are vegan who've crossed over that line, as it were, and there is a line. I think there's a line of just somewhere inside you. There's an understanding. And there's something that sticks, and it's a bit different for everyone, but very similar for everyone. I think, you know, it's kind of unique, but it has the same underlying principles. And I think everybody's little journeys towards these understandings are unique, but they're also, you know, they're kind of common. So there's common themes come through. So it is challenging. We all want, I think once you go on vegan, you know, you just desperately want everybody to go vegan. And sometimes that shows, and I think it does put people off a bit. It's easy to put people off. You become, you know, the zealousness of the righteous can be an unpleasant trait. And veganism attracts that because we're so passionate. And to try and step away from that anger and from that sense of deep injustice and that desire to, you know, really liberate animals from the use that they are enduring. It drives people to do the most extraordinary acts. Some may say acts of courage, others may say acts of folly. They're acts driven to liberate animals. But to be able to contain that and kind of deal with that and process that, and kind of come out with something that's, you know, okay, and it kind of makes sense to people who are not of that understanding, and to try and be very helpful and not, you know, sell out the animals in doing that. is a real challenge. And I think the vegan approach, alongside a lot of the other avenues like Veganuary, Vegan Society, Animal Aid, Viva, all do similar approaches. They're all a little bit different. They're all quite similar, but they've all got a very soft and inviting and supportive approach. And I think that probably sums up the vegan approach in many respects.
It does. I think it really does. And we try to promote all the organisations within our work that we do within our slides and our content. We promote Veganuary, promote Animal Aid, the Vegan Society, because there's lots of good resources and helpful people out there that we try and help signpost people to. So, and also find as well, I find in my own personal experience, when I'm travelling, I'm not travelling so much now, but when I travel with business and I'm with colleagues, I always try to take them to the vegan and vegetarian restaurants and show them how good vegan food actually is as well. So that's been very, very impactful for me and for others who have actually started switching. My colleagues at work have actually started to a less animal-based diet. So that's been a real personal success for me as well.
I remember, Rob, we bumped into each other in a hotel up
in London, yeah.
Both on a random trip to promote veganism. I was off to a talk on business people and veganism and plant-based diets, and I think you were off to somebody who just come up from somewhere. That's a random sort of thing. I miss that sort of travelling and the talks and stuff. But we have replaced in Summerfest Online, and Rob and his colleagues will be doing at 3 o'clock a live stream. So, it's going to be very valuable for people who are new to veganism and want to kind of come along. You've got some fantastic guests, and thrilled to see you pull together all those people you mentioned. And if you do go to the show, and you can register for free, if you look in the new vegan support area, you'll see a number of presentations, including, Karen, a couple from your massive friends, Peter Egan and Jasmine Harmon, have both got short Veganuary presentations up there, encouraging people to sort of do Veganuary and such like. So that's going to be on the website. Joe, Rob, thanks ever so much for coming up early on Sunday morning.
Thank you both.
And we're looking forward to your thing. Well done with all the work, and good luck with it. It's invaluable work. I know there's a number of people out there who are really grateful for the work you've done, because you've kind of been the door for them to open to their own behaviour and their own lifestyle choices and their own ethical and moral positions, and that is a real blessing. I think that's a blessing in life.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Liz and Chrissy as well, because they've helped all together.
Liz is great. I haven't met her before. I've met Chrissy before, but it's been a pleasure getting to know. Of course, that's one of the benefits of online, is you actually get to know people via Zoom and such like
that. You do, don't you?
Great. Yeah. All right. Nice one, Rob. Thanks very much.
Okay.
We'll catch up with you later today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. You know what you said, Tim, about a common theme. And the common theme that I've heard for the past 25 years or longer is that every single vegan that I talk to says, I wish I had gone vegan sooner. Everybody. So that is a big vegan theme that I do come across.
Absolutely. And, I think the whole thing is a really interesting dynamic. I know a lot of people have put a lot of work into it, ourselves included, discussing and trying to work out the best ways to do all of this stuff. But I think the best thing is to do is to just basically keep at it and try and be consistent. Try and be consistent. I think it's good if you're going to try and help people go vegan, it's good to understand why before you start teaching how. So, understanding the principles of justice that underpin veganism, and understanding the benefits of plant-based diets that underpin the benefits of plant-based diets, is very important. And I think if you're going to teach, it's important to understand that essentially veganism is a way of life that seeks to exclude the use of all animals wherever practicable and possible. And it's essentially a social justice movement for animals, demanding justice for the billions of animals used and exploited every year. And plant-based diets are very much about the benefits, you know, the benefits of plant-based diets environmentally, health-wise, and for sustainable food. Talking of health-wise, I believe we are now joined by an absolute expert in plant-based cooking. And of course, this is an absolutely essential part of welcoming people into the bigger, broader vegan picture, you know, plant-based diets, especially with the amazing chef skills that we have. And there's a whole cookery demos live stream today. There's a 1 o'clock live stream. Chef Dave Radley is going to be live streaming a Sunday dinner at 1 o'clock, which is a pretty good idea, I thought, for a 1 o'clock Sunday. Why not? Sunday dinners is going to be the theme for Dave's live stream. But we also have a number of very talented chefs in the area, the cookery demos area, with some pre-recorded demos. And we're very fortunate to be joined by one of our long-standing, or probably our longest-standing chef that we've had on board since 2006. Was the first time that Nishma and Mahersh joined us from Shambhu's Catering. And I believe that we have Nishma Shah on the line now. Here's Nishma and Mahersh. Oh, here we are. Whoa. Here we go.
Hi, team.
Yeah, take the screen down because your name's covering your faces.
Okay.
Up. We want to see your lovely faces.
Yeah,
Is it better now?
you can see us.
Yeah. Oh, really good to see you guys. How you doing?
Well, like, congratulations to Tim and yourself for pulling this off in the online. It's a whole new experience.
It's phenomenal.
It's,
It's incredible.
it's
Yeah.
working really well.
Are you looking forward to doing what you're doing today?
Oh yeah, I am. And like there's because there's the whole culinary spices, and the recipe that I've used has got so many different spices in there. Like if it was done live in front of an audience, I'll be carrying a lot of equipment with me. So this was a perfect opportunity to show something that's quite complex but really easy to follow at home. So it's really amazing. Yeah. And I know Tim likes his dal, so I especially made an Gujarati dal for him.
Oh, I love dal. I've been eating nothing but dal since I saw you last, actually. It's about 5 times a week I eat dal, pretty much every day. Yeah, I had dal for Karen. While Karen was doing a chat show, I had my little bowl of dal soup last night whilst we were.
Oh, it's such a lovely dish, isn't it? I love it.
Yeah. It's the best dish in the world, really. And I know that, billions of people, dal and lentils, pulses is the staple sort of source of protein. And I find it quite humbling, actually, eating dal too. There's a humbling aspect of dal that kind of reminds me that how lucky we are to have, this abundance of food and this ability to just choose these wonderful dishes. And, of course, so many people don't.
And dal is so easy to store. You don't need to have a fridge or a freezer to store dal. It can be just stored outside, and they're they're cheap as well. So many things can be made out of a dal, and that's such a versatile product.
Now, guys, I want to know when you first started and how it all came about. And I do remember, of course, when I run my vegan festivals in Essex nearly 20 years ago, 18 years ago, that's when I first met you as well. So you've been running for such a long time. It's amazing. Huge congratulations.
Oh, thank you, and to you guys too. You've been there for as long as we have ever known. We've been way before we became vegan. But Tim, just a bit of a correction to what you said. We actually came aboard in your show in 2005.
In Bristol.
So even earlier at Bristol.
No, it's 2006 because it's during the World Cup. It was in the one outside the watershed, and we had the food outside, and we had. I remember
we were there in 2006 as well.
Scored against Paraguay in the first minute. That was the show, but I'm pretty sure it was 2006. But if you're sure it was 2005, I'll take your word for it because you.
No, we can't forget that. Because
I noticed you.
That was our launch. That was our first show. You launched us. You gave us that opportunity to have a big catering stall. Someone pulled out, and that got us going. And that was the first. That was Shambu's first show. So here we are still at your shows, and no, we're it's wonderful. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great to see how things have evolved so magnificently.
But yeah, I was listening to Rob as well, and the growth in the vegan section. It's amazing. Like, it's available everywhere. And what we're doing now is that we're working with local councils. So I'm teaching plant-based cuisine at the Harrow Council, and I just this week it's children's summer uni happening for Enfield Council. So we did like teaching for children as well, and we started getting some photos about the work, and it's phenomenal. What the children have produced, and these are quite complex recipes, and it's amazing, like how involved the children have become. They enjoy the food, and they're so proud of the work they have done. So it's a gradual growth, but it's like quite a steep growth now.
Is that what you're focusing on more then? Is it more the teaching side of things? Because I do know at one point I was buying your incredible cheesecakes. I wondered if you were still doing those.
We are still doing the cheesecakes, and we're still doing the catering, but during the COVID times we had to change a bit, and we started changing from last year, going more into teaching, and I'm glad we did that. Like, it has been, and also like the government now saying about obesity, climate change. So there's so many boxes the vegan lifestyle ticks. So it's good for climate change, it's good for obesity, it's good for land use, and and it's another, people on a budget can afford to go vegan as well. So it ticks so many boxes. Yes.
But yeah, we definitely do want to develop the teaching side of things, and so Nishma partners with Made in Hackney as well as the councils, and yeah, she's available for if anyone's got groups and things like that, and they want to have a cookery class or a cookery demo. That is something we want to develop a lot more. And yeah, over this lockdown period, we took the opportunity to revamp our website, so do check it out, everyone out there. It's shamboos.uk, and so yeah, there you'll see our catering and our teaching and a bit of our story. But yeah, no, really delighted to be part of this event, Karen. And Karen, I should have said also, yes, you were probably our second event, wherever that was.
At Colchester. I remember Callum was in your tummy at that time.
A long time ago. My son's now 14 and loves being vegan, and it's funny because we go to events and we'll meet people, and he's obviously a kid, a teenager, and people will say, oh, I've been vegan 2 years, I've been vegan 3 years, and he says, oh, I've been vegan 14 years and I'm 14, and everybody goes, oh my God, you're so lucky. So yeah, I did that vegan festival. It was actually in Brentwood. I did that while I was rather heavily pregnant, and was a bit stressful, but yeah, it was really good fun. And you guys are amazing. You've done so much brilliant work over the years, fed lots of people and impressed people with your brilliant food, but also your lovely personalities. You're so easygoing, approachable. And at the last Vegfest as well, I've got to say, Nishma, I sat down when I had a break from my stage, and it was standing room only where you were hosting the cookery demonstrations. And you look so beautiful in all of your lovely, authentic clothes. I don't know what they're called, but you just look so beautiful. And you were so calm and cool hosting the whole cookery demonstration. And I never got a chance to say that to you. So I'm glad I've got the chance to say that now.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like when they're physically happening, it's difficult to catch up. So this gives us a chance to catch up with each other as well. So. It's brilliant. Like, thank you, Karen.
It's a different pace of life, isn't it? The online event. I did see that you were in the chat rooms and you were chatting and asking questions, and kind of engaging with our panelists and speakers. We had some fantastic panels on yesterday. So just to remind, obviously, everybody that if you want to come along and you can see Nishma's cookery demo, it's a pre-presentation, which means you can turn up anytime for free and watch it. It's not only available today. It's going to be available for another 30 days online, so you can still come along and watch for free. You can also catch up with our stall holders. They're all there. You can shop and browse today, and then they'll still be on display for another 30 days. So although the live aspects of the show shut at 11 o'clock tonight, you know, the nuts and bolts of the show, if you like, stay open, including your cookery demos. So thanks, Nishma. Thanks, Mahersh, for joining us. Mahersh, I can see you've still got your lockdown hairstyle. Yeah. And I've managed to...
Something to remember.
Twice, actually. I saw myself on a chat show from about 2 months ago, Karen, at United. I still had long hair. It's like, my goodness.
Yeah, I need to find a good vegan barber that's got COVID safe.
It's great to see you. And you can catch up with Shamboos on the website. As I said, there's cookery demos, classes, education available, as well as some of the products and catering services. So do go along and have a look at Shamboos. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Mahersh, some of our longest standing, 15 years, and we'd love to see you. Thanks for really
thank you. Respect to you both for all that you've done, all the great work for the vegan community, vegan cause. Really,
cheers, guys.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Lovely, thanks. That's great, Karen.
They're the nicest couple ever. They are so lovely. And Nishma's food is so good. So, yeah, looking forward to the cookery demo.
I think that's something I miss the most about the live events, actually, is that, you know, the food, you know, obviously the online event doesn't quite serve that aspect. And obviously we get that. We aren't really given much choice, you know. The live events are coming back. It's great to see that some of the outdoor and you know, there's some markets, and I think the future of the events is going to be more grassroots, local, and smaller producers. That's going to be the events. I don't know what the future is with the bigger events. Currently, it's shut, and you can't plan. You can't do business. These are, you know, they're big budgets, they're £250,000 shows, and we can't operate. And it's crucifying, I swear. It really is tough. So the online option is what we've got. I hope people will, you know, appreciate it for what it is. It's a fantastic benefit. It's got its drawbacks, but it does need support. You know, we can't do all this work unless people want to really use it. So I hope people find it valuable. We certainly do. What we really find valuable is being able to give a platform to marginalised voices, to people who are regularly facing discrimination or facing barriers. If you sat in and listened to the Vegan Women's Leadership Network yesterday, you would hear some of the vegan women leaders talking about the barriers they've faced, some of the sexism they have to encounter, and as you know, just to establish a basis, never mind to get on, and it's these barriers that we have to, you know, identify, and then, you know, learn about, discuss. We have to see how they are anecdotally and individually, and, you know, people like me, I have to identify my own misogyny or sexism and work on it, remove it. But I also have to recognise it in systems and institutions. And these are not easy to change. They require a team effort, and they require people giving up their time to work together to overcome structural and institutional isms. And none more so than we've seen this in Karen, of course, with the Black Lives Matter movement, which had a profound influence during lockdown, a worldwide attention And out of that has come several amazing initiatives. And then also our next guest, Jay Brave, who has set up something called the BITO, the Black in the Open initiative. Jay's going to join us now. He's going to be with us at 7:30 on our Global Veganism panel, but he's very good. And so he's got a little daughter, so I know he's busy on a Sunday morning. He's given up his time, valuable time indeed, to come and join us briefly. Jay Brave. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jay. You're looking fabulous on this Sunday morning. How have you done that? You look absolutely, I don't know, gorgeous.
Oh, well, I don't know. Either you're seeing an avatar or there must be Vaseline on your...
You look like it's party time Saturday night, not early Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday mornings now at 9:40 are 5 hours in when your daughter's like been awake since 3-ish. So, yeah, definitely feeling it, but very happy to take the compliments. You know, you got to take them where you can.
Jay, talking of compliments, I am a fully paid up lifelong member of the Vegan Society, so I'm fully aware of the process. Karen and I have both been trustees of the Vegan Society in our time, and I can just tell there's a little clue that tells me that you might just have a little announcement to make about that following yesterday. Go on, let's hear it from the man himself.
Thank you. Yes, as you may see, I've taken the liberty of even now adding it into my little title there below. But yesterday, I did become a new trustee of the Vegan Society. So thank you very much. Very happy to have joined, but you know, the long-standing vegan organization, and really excited to step up to, in essence, a lot of challenges. I think a lot of what you just mentioned there, Tim, in that kind of like really effortless segue from the last conversation into this one, was the kind of a lot of the barriers for people across our vegan lateral, that, like, you know, whether that be women, black people, other communities, people of color, whether that be disabled people, people who are marginalized financially, or again, so many people who don't fall under, I suppose, the center of that standard deviation curve. But I think the challenge is for us as vegans at large, but for me now with my new role at the Vegan Society, to look at how we can make the conversation more inclusive, and how we can, I suppose, dust away the cobwebs of the past and make space for the opportunities of the future.
I love that. Huge congratulations. That's brilliant news, Jay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's fantastic, and I know that you're joining an interesting bunch of trustees. As I mentioned, I was a trustee 5 years ago, and Karen, you were a trustee of the Vegan Society, I think 20 years ago now, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah, about 20 years ago. See.
And you know, a number of our friends have done their service, as it were, and it's an interesting role. But I will take this opportunity just to extend my good wishes, you know, to all of the trustees of the Vegan Society. I know in the past that you know, one or two of us have had our differences. I'm actually overall thrilled to see the progress the Vegan Society has made. I mean, just the wonderful cover to the summer magazine was a great example of how far the society has come in terms of kind of moving up to speed. And when I think where the society was literally 6 years ago, and now where it is now, and you know, tremendous credit must go to the trustees. Behind the scenes, they don't get, as far as I know, any credit, and I'm sure, Jay, you will find out. You'll get plenty of criticism, very little credit. You get definitely plenty of work to do. No thanks, no pay. It's a merciless task in some respects, and not for the faint-hearted. But it is a very, very important role. And I think those people currently in the trustees' roles, I know there's some, there's some really good intent there. And I think that you will make a really valuable addition, because I think you've got the personality, I think you've got the communication, the articulation, and actually, as Karen said, fair shout, right? You're looking great, you know. Ebullient, indeed, is the word. Ebullient which
Thank you very
I've
much.
been using regularly without quite knowing what it means. I've just got to look it up again because it means cheerful and full of energy. And possibly, if there was a criticism of the Vegan Society trustees and the general thing is it has at times appeared a bit cold and remote at times and perhaps lacking in that ebullient energy. But I have seen that really develop over the last few years. I mean, it's always been there, but I think from the trustees, it's a very difficult role. Sometimes it's been easy to play safe, as it were. And now,
It just reminder, Tim, I'm only on day one. Don't scare me.
Oh, mate, I've waited till you got the title before I told you all this. I wasn't going to put you off. I waited till you got the job. Now I'll tell you.
Yeah.
No, it's great. Honestly, it's great to see you. And again, I underline my full respect and support for the Vegan Society right now. They've been brilliant coming on board Summerfest. They've been in full effect, as they say. And, it's great to see a number of Vegan Society people, not only with the stall, but working and presenting. But Joe, tell us a bit more about that work that specifically you're doing now with the BITO.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I will circle back just to talk a little bit about some of the exciting things that the Vegan Society have been doing, some of the things that I have been supporting and will be looking forward to support moving forward. But you're right that there is very much an intersectional conversation. And that is the reason why back on, I think it was June the 2nd now, which was just in the aftermath of George Floyd killing in Minneapolis in America, there had been, as I'm sure you're aware, and all of our viewers and listeners are aware, very much a social moment which managed to reach across the world. And it was in that social moment where kind of recognizing that there was a lot of attention being given to this moment, but I didn't recognize any action underpinning a lot of the engagement and the social kind of conversation. And so it was in that moment that I suppose I recognized the need to create an organization that could help turn that horizontal into a vertical, something that we'd be able to use moving forward to actually implement or leverage sustainable change, and especially with regards to systemic oppression with institutions, organizations and influencers. And so, yes, the organization which I founded was, or is, the Black in the Open Institute, which, can be acronymed to BITO, B-I-T-O. But again, something interesting that even comes from that is over the 10 weeks since we've been founded, I know that it's a lot easier to say BITO than Black in the Open. I know that we live in a world of shortened sequences, but similar to what I feel often happens with the term BAME, is that the identity of people can be lost inside of acronyms, which, similar to LGBTQ, A+, which kind of has so many different movements going on, but are banded together by people who are saying, well, you're not one of us, so you are all in this. And so the idea of acronyms is something that I would love to begin to bring more into the open, which is why it's called Black in the Open, because I wanted this, although it is founded with a racial lens, this is very much about bringing conversations into the open, because for me, my blackness is very important, and again, it's a large part of why I felt it was important to become a trustee for the Vegan Society. But also, again, my veganism is important. My manhood, my fatherhood, my masculinity is important, but also something that, like you also mentioned at the top there, Tim, needs to be checked, because I recognize as well my misogyny and something that I have to work with. I also recognize as well, though, that male privilege would have played a part in me getting this trustee role. And so this is what I mean, that I and everybody that I want to engage with our organization and with the new roles that I've taken on with other kind of lateral, cultural or kind of social justice organizations, is that reminder that all conversations have to be had at the same time, that unless we're ending all oppression, we're not ending any. So it's kind of, bring back the Black in the Open Institute, which you can find online at BITO Institute, again, constrained by the amount of characters you're allowed to have for social media handles. But once you go to BITO Institute on Twitter, Facebook, what's the other one? Instagram.
Yeah, you got it, mate.
on all of the platforms, basically, you'll find ways to link back to our website, which is also at bito.institute, which currently serves as a portal where you can actually join if you want to find out how your volunteer work can help support and actually be part of serious and progressive anti-racist work.
That's brilliant, Jay. I can't thank you enough for doing this. I think it's really important work. And much like our friend Katrina, who's launched the Vegan Women's Leadership Network, who will be presenting at 11 o'clock, indeed, in just over an hour, live stream from Australia for our opening Summerfest session. This is something you've launched during lockdown. You've done it, like this Summerfest. It's been launched during lockdown. It's a lockdown. It's a bounce back. It's a new norm. And, the need to have this conversation, especially with white people, because white people are reluctant to acknowledge race. We don't want to. It's uncomfortable. We don't know how to talk to black people about race. We think, oh, I don't want to mention black. They might think I'm racist. It's like, no, mate. Racism. You need to talk about it. We need to unpick it. We need to see it in ourselves. We need to understand. We have to understand the intersection of oppressions with other isms. And like you said, the important message is we've got to do with all of them at once, because if you isolate oppression, it actually means it gets stronger. And to unpick it, you've got to look at it all at once. And that's why human rights, animal rights, wildlife rights, planetary, environmental rights, they all come into one. Jay, we're just about out of time, but just to say that we are going to be looking at this again tonight at 7:30. We've got 4 or 5 guests on global veganism, and we're going to have a time there so you can expand on that a little bit. We've got a few hours, but well done. And as I said again, it's great to see you in the Vegan Society, and again to acknowledge the great progress Vegan Society's made.
Thank you. My closing sentence, my closing words would be that I have founded this institute not for black people, but for white people. The black in the open, us black people, we know already. Yeah. This organization is about white people being able to step across that aisle. As you said, step up to that challenge and recognize that being called racist isn't an insult. It's a challenge. It's work that needs to be done. And in the same way that when someone, and I recognize in my misogyny that it means it's work to be done. And it's not an insult. Right. I hope that people can see it the same.
We will do. We're getting there. I was just saying about, I was going to talk yesterday, actually. I've got to say this now because I didn't want to interrupt the Vegan Women's Leadership Network. I kind of wrapped it up. And I had a few words to say about, I thought, you know what? I don't want to say it because it's the Vegan Women's Leadership Network. So men can just shut up. And also, all I said was some polite stuff about thanks, because I have been listening. But one of the things I was listening to is about what women find as barriers to progressing in the animal rights movement often. And, I think for men, it's trying to identify toxic masculinity. But you mentioned the word masculinity. Men don't want to lose their masculinity. Masculinity means something to men. But adopting feminine principles to underpin your masculinity, in my book, makes you a lot more masculine. And I'm seeing big, strong men, like someone like Hench Herbivore is coming out with some good stuff, He's got a feminine principles underpinning his masculinity, and he's kind of replacing that toxic masculinity with feminist principles and feminine principles of caring, of sharing, of bearing your soul sometimes, daring to be a bit different, and helping inspire confidence in people that maybe are finding that a barrier. Self-confidence especially. Talk about being ebullient, self-confidence, helping people with their own self-confidence to step up and fulfill their roles and amplify their own voices, to have the courage and the wherewithal and the bravery to do that. And I think that's something, all of us can really help with. And those principles, and of course, I'm a Wally Adewale in New York, Brooklyn. He does the Black Vegfest there with Nadia. He really is demonstrating masculine
I think ultimately, again, what I just hear from that conversation is I want us all as a society to get to a place where we don't apportion any of those values and words to masculine or feminine. They all just exist in energy, and then we kind of gravitate between them. I mean, even the idea that we have to look to people like, like hench herbivore and think of like men who are big and strong. And I'm like, I would argue that, like,
well, we don't have to look to them.
You're just as big and strong. I'm just as big and strong. Like our strength.
I suppose what I'm saying. They're just examples of men who, in the vegan community, who are big and strong, but do not exude toxic masculinity so much, are now exuding the kind of, and they're still men. This is my point. You don't sacrifice your masculinity, and you can still be, I hear you. I mean, perhaps this is a conversation we shouldn't have got straight into on a Sunday morning with about 4 minutes to wrap up, because I wouldn't want any. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with you. We should look to ourselves. We should look to ourselves. We don't have to look to role models. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, when you look around you, there are lots of examples of men showing feminist principles in their masculinity and doing away with those toxic principles of aggression, me first, misogyny, not sharing, not caring, anger, violence, even that toxicities. So this way, just to wrap up here, we can revisit.
If we see them,
we can revisit at 7:30 tonight. Jay, I'll invite you on. Well, we can do this another time, but we can revisit. It's a big old conversation. Karen, you've been listening there patiently. Just to say, look, we're on at 7:30. We've got some wonderful stuff in between there. We've got 11 o'clock. We've got the Vegan Women's Leadership Network. 1 o'clock, the Dave Radley cookery classes. 3 o'clock, we have the vegan approach. At 4:30, we have the bodybuilders competition. And then at 6 o'clock, we have Animal Rebellion, which is going to be a global link up. We've got people literally on 4 continents joining us for that one. 7:30, Jay, you're on with us. Me and Karen are hosting a global veganism before we go through to 9 o'clock with Maccabee, who's going to wrap up the Summerfest. So that's about it now. Jay, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you later on.
Thank you. See you later, guys.
Bye, Jay. You're great.
Have a great day and see you later. Look forward
to it. Later. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Carl, I remember when Jay walked onto the effective factor that we run at Vegfest, and he just took the roof off. Absolutely. I love the way he speaks. I love his passion. Just love everything about him. So huge congratulations for joining the Vegan Society. Looking forward to seeing him later tonight as well, Tim. What a great guy.
And that's great. Jay's really, honestly, I had the pleasure of getting to know Jay a little bit this summer too, because of the work he's doing, and we've been communicating a bit on that. And it's great. It's just a really friendly, down-to-earth guy, so I really got to like Jay. It's just, I always have, but, I've seen another side too. There's a humbleness there, because he's a young dad now, and, there's some tough challenges of living in London, trying to make it work, and it's not easy to keep things rolling. I know that, and I think to be able to do the work he's doing and volunteer, and again extending, got warm wish to everybody, especially the trustees. So you've got a great trustee. Good luck to the vegan. So Karen, I think that's it. We're 10 o'clock in a minute. We're going to open the show. Open the show in less than a minute. So VegfestUK Summerfest is going to open the doors online at 10 o'clock. That's in a minute. And we are now going to wrap up what is the last of the first series of VegfestUK Chat. Karen and I have been doing this now since 3 months. Back in May 15th, we did our first episode with Victoria, and we've done a whole series, 8 episodes. That's it for now for VegfestUK Chat. We may or may not be back. We don't know. Who knows what the future lies. We'd like to think there might be a return, perhaps in a month or 2. We'll have a see. But certainly, Karen, what I do want to do is say how grateful I am for you again. Honestly, never mind all the the jokes, you know, deep down, seriously, this has been a real commitment for you. It's been a process. I know you love it, but as with any work, especially voluntary work, you know, it brings its challenges, and that you've turned up every time, ebullient to the last minute there. I took my hat, and I'm deeply grateful. So thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, please, our lovely viewer, give us some likes, thumbs up, loves, and just share our message. And please do join in today, Sunday, for VegfestUK Summerfest Online. So much has gone on behind the scenes. We just love you to enjoy it.
That's it. Thanks, folks. And we shall leave you now with our lovely little outro. Of course, is the great late Tom Reagan, the founder of the animal rights movement in many ways, because he was really the first person to really develop that philosophy that basically underpins the whole vegan way of life. It's based on recognising that one right all animals have is something they already have, and it's up to us, humans, to recognise that right all animals have, not to be used. Not to be used as property, not to be used as dinner, not to be used as clothing, not to be used in the laboratories, and not to be used for entertainment. And that's something that we are working towards, a vegan world for all, justice for all animals, all humans, the whole planet. Thanks for listening.
My wife Nancy and I were active in the anti-war movement during the Vietnam period. And we were thinking that America should not be involved in that war because it involved violence that we didn't think could be justified. And during that period we thought about other aspects of our life that might involve violence. And we read Gandhi's work, and Gandhi's basically spoke from the page to us, so to speak, and said, if you think that violence against human beings is wrong if you can't justify it, how can you justify those dead body parts you mentioned in your freezer? And if you can justify that, please tell me, Professor Reagan, so to speak, and if not, think about it. And so we thought about it, and we couldn't find a good reason that would justify that kind of violence.
The other animals humans eat, use in science, hunt, trap, and exploit in a variety of other ways have a life of their own that is of importance to them apart from their utility to us. They are not only in the world, they are aware of it and also of what happens to them. And what happens to them matters to them. Each has a life that fares experientially better or worse for the one whose life it is. Like us, they bring a unified psychological presence to the world. Like us, they are some bodies, not some things.